Hello Internet, and welcome back to another episode of Pokémon Generation 1. In the last episode, we explored Route 9 and Route 10 and made it here to the entrance to Route Tunnel. Rock Tunnel, not Route Tunnel. That would be a much funnier name though. This time, we're going to be going ahead and cutting our way into Rock Tunnel because, I don't know, it takes longer to cut away these trees than it would to walk around, or at least it takes equally as much time, but who cares? Let's just head in. So, welcome! Before we take a single step in here, I want to make sure to mention, you should have a lot of potions, and repels and escape ropes are also helpful. There are 15 trainers in here, and some stronger wild Pokemon than there were in Mount Moon. There are a few ways to illuminate this cave. First, select any option in the party menu. Never mind, that's Generation 2. So yeah, there's no way to illuminate this cave, except for using Flash. A blinding flash lights the area, and now it's just a normal cave. Along with this, if Pikachu grows to either level 26 or 43 in here, and learns Thunderbolt or Thunder, respectively, depending on the level, obviously. Yeah, goodbye Thundershock, you suck compared to Thunderbolt. And then you speak to Pikachu. It will temporarily light up the cave. This reaction of Pikachu's will go away after a few steps, but if you refresh it every few steps, Pikachu will continue to do this, and you have at least a little bit of free flash time without actually needing to use the move. Anyway, back to blue version. It's temporary, but it can be repeated until you've taken a few steps. There's literally no items in here or anything, so all there really is to do now is to talk about the encounters, so I'll shut up and let those happen. Low Kick, Karate Chop, Dig, Mega Punch. This is the best you're going to get on Machop before it evolves, and that's assuming you aren't using the Dig and Mega Punch TMs on Pokemon that are better suited to using them. Being a pure fighting type, Machop has a weakness to Psychic, one of the most powerful types in the game, along with low speed and special to guarantee that pretty much any Psychic type Pokemon in the game can easily come in and eviscerate Machop before it even gets to move. If you do want to use the Machop family, you're best off catching it here, as its middle stage won't be obtainable until almost the very end of the game, but if you're playing Yellow, just wait. You'll be able to get the final stage of this evolution much sooner than Machop would be useful, or before you catch Machoke. Onix has a lower attack stat than Oddish. I'm sure you've heard it all before. Onix's defense stat being 160 makes it seem like a phenomenal Pokemon at first. That is the second highest defense stat in the game after all, but unfortunately, Onix's mediocre speed and awful HP and special stats mean that any attack it's weak to spells out near instant death. If you're going to use Onix, it's going to use Bind and Self-Destruct or Explosion once we obtain TMs for them. Otherwise, just use Geodude or wait until we can use the best rock type in the game. It's a shame too, because the anime really did make me love Onix. So as you can see by the fact I've already had to heal, yeah, the trainers in here are also going to be a little bit tougher. Not that much, because they're NPC trainers in Generation 1, but you know what I mean. There's not a lot to say about the encounters here, but I'm not going to be spraying a repel until I've caught both of them, because I don't want to have to come back here later. So, yeah. Hopefully Onix doesn't take that long to come across. Hello Machop, you're not Onix, but you are one of the things I need to catch here. I'll cut ahead to after I've caught it. Easily caught it in the first ball. Machop was caught. Superpower! That's not a move yet. Loves to build its muscles. It trains in all styles of martial arts to become even stronger. For some reason, he doesn't look like the kind of guy who'd be talented in a lot of martial arts, but I don't know, maybe that's just because he's small. He's Yoda. Alright. This first floor isn't too oh my god. You're not Onix, then I don't want you. Go away. You know, you always forget just how dense the encounters are in here. Oh, hi Onyx! Speak of the devil, I was just complaining about you. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and Sleep Powder right away. Onyx is probably the hardest Pokemon to catch we've come across so far, other than Mew, so... yeah. It's always a fun moment in a game where you see one of the early bosses become a normal enemy, and this is sort of the equivalent of that for a Pokemon game. Since Slash is a guaranteed crit, we can't use it too many times, but it is going to be our most effective way to weaken a Pokemon with as high a defense stat as Onyx. Without, like, knocking it out. Ugh! I hate that sound effect in this game. That's awful. Screech always has a bad sound effect because... you know, a screech in general just kind of is a unpleasant sound, but... okay. Oh, 3 whole damage coming from the giant rock snake. I cannot believe how low this thing's attack stat is, genuinely. Like, I've been a fan of this series for so long, I've known about its attack stat being as low as it is, but... it never gets less weird. Stay in the ball, please. You're asleep. You're weakened. You'll be provided shelter. There you go. Onyx was caught. Rock Snake. True. As it grows, the stone portions of its body harden to become similar to a diamond, but colored black. So, who knows what happened with the crystal Onyx? I don't know what to name you. Otterish. Alright, now I can actually spray repels. I only have 4 of these, so they probably aren't gonna get me through the entire cave, but... you know what? That's fine. I really don't know what to say about Rock Tunnel. The lack of items means I really don't need to give a lot of direction here. I will say it's pretty important to fight as many trainers as possible. This will make it take much longer to get through the cave, but the experience at this point in the game is useful. It's fine if you miss any. You can just come back with new team members later on and use the trainers to grind for those, but I don't know. Any experience is useful. We're getting at a point in the game where even if you've been keeping up on experience like I have, where my starter is already almost in its final form and we only have 3 badges, you'll end up falling behind sooner or later in Generation 1. We are confused now. I am going to switch out. It's only been using Confusion, so I doubt it has a water move. Just because the AI chooses a random move pretty much all the time in Generation 1. It would be weird if we just hadn't seen Water Gun yet. I could have Water Gun. It would know Water Gun by this point in Generation 2, but you never really know with Generation 1. Whew, I'm exhausted. Okay. I'm gonna heal up. Ran out of potions, but luckily I have super potions. Just a genuinely superior item. I don't know why I didn't switch to it a long time ago. Other than just wanting to use the potions I'd already bought, I suppose. It is nice knowing that there's no items or anything in this cave, because that means I can just sort of go the correct way without needing to worry about showing every single possible dead end. But also it feels wrong that there's no items in here. I always seem to remember there being more items in Rock Tunnel. Maybe there are in the remakes. I know Heart Gold and Soul Silver have a lot of items in here, but this particular game doesn't, and it's bizarre. I'll cut ahead to when this battle is over, because something tells me this Oddish is just gonna try stalling me out. It did, in fact, try to stall me out. It didn't succeed. Oh, Bulbasaur! Going back to what I was saying a few episodes ago, how I like trainers using starters throughout the world. Like to see that. Oh, I lost! Oh, I lost! True. Okay, is this another Pokemaniac? Because I kind of want to... there's something I want to say. Do you know about costume players? I believe he says, do you know about cosplay in future games? I don't know why he lengthens it. Pokemaniac. Am I crazy? Or does this sprite scream Tumblr sexy man? One second. I gotta get a professional opinion on this. Alright. Sorry, I had to get that cursed thought out of my head. Hey! I love seeing him. I don't know what it is. I couldn't properly articulate what I meant when I was talking about it earlier. I genuinely don't know how to articulate what I mean by, like, how much I love seeing starters out and about in the world. It's just... I don't know, it's really neat. The new DLC for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet did something sort of similar, where the various members of the Elite Four of the BB League, which is the main bosses of the Indigo Disc DLC, will use various starter Pokemon from just throughout the generations. And sometimes they'll be their aces, sometimes they won't, but they all have at least one, including the champion, actually, which, yeah, I don't know. Starter Pokemon, it might be because they, in particular, end up holding such a special place in a player's heart because they're the first one you pick in any given generation, so they always have extra care put into their designs and everything, but I don't know. I just love seeing them out in the world, and it makes me sad, the idea that only the specific trainers chosen by any given region's professor can have them. Which is another thing I think the Indigo Disc fixed, because they can appear in the wild once you grind too much. I don't like talking too much about future games in series that I'm Let's Playing, but I don't know. It might just be the season. Indigo Disc did just come out as I'm recording this, basically. And by just come out, I mean it came out about probably 3 weeks ago at this point, but I mean, come on. It's on the brain. You can't blame me. Gotta love the hikers, still breaking out the Geodudes when they could have evolved into Graveler by now. Oh, I was expecting him to have more than one This guy really just came at me with one Geodude? In mountains, you'll often find rock-type Pokemon. I'm aware. I've been here. I've been around. Hit me with your best shot! Hit me with your best shot! Hiker wants to fight. Okay, this guy has 2 Pokemon. Already being more interesting than most hikers with a Machop. Although I think a hiker in the last episode also used a Machop, but I don't fully remember. I'm recording a day later, so... Actually, I'm recording like 3 days later, actually, so I remember even less. So as far as I'm concerned, this is the most creative man in this cave so far. And he soiled it. He could have had a Graveler. We haven't seen Graveler yet. Come on. You could have a Graveler with levels like that. Fired away! Oh my god, wait, that was actually the reference?! I'll raise my Pokemon to beat yours, kid! Oh my, I can't believe I actually understood a reference to a song of all things. When I listen to music, I listen to the same artist on repeat until I get bored of it and move on to another one, and then eventually I'll loop back around. And I mean, right now it's ABBA. You'll rarely ever, like, catch me knowing a reference to an artist that I don't particularly care about, like, either ABBA or, like, Fun or Queen or, like, Nate Ruess. You won't catch me knowing anything outside of, like, a very select few artists, so... When I understand a reference like that, you know it's a good one. Or at least you know it's a really obvious one that only I am amazed by my ability to understand. Okay. Margarine is burned, which is unfortunate because I don't have any burn heal. Which, you know, you better have burn heal, but I don't have burn heal. Okay. It's sort of getting annoying how often switching is becoming, like, not necessarily necessary, but just, like, a preferred option. I kinda liked it more when I could just have one Pokemon beat everything with a single press of the A button. Now I need to press the A button like 3 times to get the Pokemon in and then select the move. And I'm out of PP for Vine Whip, and I put all my PP restoration items in the PC, so now I need to switch again. Which is fine, Hiket is getting a little bit over-leveled at this point anyway, but come on. Dig. Ooh, it's raising its defense stat. I'm sure that'll do a lot. I'm 8 levels higher using an 100 power move, but I'm sure Defense Curl would have saved you. You win! I tried to find a way to make it sound similar, but it didn't work out. I'm gonna switch Annabelle to the front of the party, I think. Hiket's getting really close to evolving, and it feels a little bit early for that. Maybe that's just me, but that's just how it feels. Hiker wants to fight. Onyx. I said Hiker wants to fight like that's a surprise, but we're 18 minutes into the dark tunnel. I think it follows that, yeah, we've fought a lot of hikers, and we're going to continue fighting a lot of hikers, and none of them are gonna have anything interesting. Onyx, again, wow. Remember when this thing was a cool, like, well-designed boss, and now it's just kind of a Pokemon with really weird stat balancing? And by balancing, I mean it's completely weighted towards defense. I just want to see Graveler, man. I like Graveler's sprite in this game, I just want to see it. Show me Graveler. That was your last Pokemon, wasn't it? Yep. Can never have more than 3. Ease up! What am I doing? Which way is out? Well, you just blacked out, so now you get to teleport out. The sleeping Pokemon on Route 12 forced me to take this detour. Yeah, it seems like that's actually impacting a lot of people. Because we're not the only ones who've been forced to take Rock Tunnel as a result. Did our first Repel just wear off? I swear I haven't sprayed more than 1 Repel since we entered this cave. Wow. Okay. I mean, it probably helps that I know the way out and there's, like, no items I need to stop for or anything, but we might genuinely make it through here on only 2 or 3 Repels. Geodude. I'll cut ahead to when either this dude has something interesting on his team or when I win the battle. Oh! He did it! He has it! Finally! I've been waiting to see Graveler. Not for any particular reason, this isn't any more interesting than Geodude, it doesn't get anything that Geodude doesn't. I just think he looks silly, and I like that. Please explode. That would be the best thing you could do, it would be so funny. I wouldn't even be mad about needing to go back to the Pokemon Center. I give! You're talented enough to hike. I mean, is it hiking if you're going through the cave? I mean, I guess it's like... you are still walking on rocks. And hiking, it doesn't necessarily have to be on like a mountain path or anything, but it just feels weird to me to call it hiking when it's like inside a cave. I feel like hiking is typically just like up a mountain path instead of through caves. But I don't know. I'm good at using the English language in a way that makes sense, but that doesn't make me like the arbiter of all English language knowledge. As much as I wish I could hold that title, because holy shit, that would be way more prestigious than English major. Which I'm not that either, because I skipped college, but, you know? I know how to use the English language, is my point. But I'm not an expert. I gotta start using Slash more often. It'll save time, because it's still always a critical hit when Annabelle uses it. It isn't always worth it to use Dig. Ooh, I did my best. But your best wasn't enough. You tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it didn't even matter. Why am I making jokes like it's a 2008 recording? I'm Let's Playing Pokemon Fire Red in my bedroom at my dad's old house all over again. Anyway, as I was saying, it's not worth using Dig every time. I could probably knock out this Geodude with Slash, and that would avoid any defense curl boosts, but I don't know. It makes my brain feel good when I see the super effective text. Let's just see how much Slash will do. Okay, not as much as I thought. It does still avoid any defense boosts, but I don't know. It's not really necessary to use Dig. Rock Throw's not doing a lot of damage, and Tackle isn't either. Just saves time. Slash is a faster animation and only takes 1 turn, so... The hikers are... They're like begging me not to beat them up now. Oh my god, what a good turn to use Dig! If I had used Slash there, Annabelle would have fainted. Yeah. That level up is earned. Whoops! Outmuscled! I go for power because I hate thinking. Me too! Same! Oh my god. Sometimes I forget that this game can genuinely be funny. Even if it's not always intentional. Every Pokemon game has its moments. You have a Pokedex? I want one too! Well, you can steal one, but you don't look like a young woman with brown hair and a, like, black dress. And that's the person who stole the Pokedex in the manga, so... Yeah. I mean, you can, but you probably won't get away with it, is my point. And you'd have to steal Squirtle, too, and I mean... Look at me, look at Aiden. Nobody wanted Squirtle, is all I'm saying. That was a joke, by the way. I love Squirtle, I'm sorry. When you finish your Pokedex, can I have it? Why would that be the situation in which I think, oh yeah, I'm gonna return to the middle of Rock Tunnel and give this to that one random Pokemaniac? Eek, don't try anything funny in the dark. It's not dark. I have a glowing disco ball in my backpack. Where is Voltorb that the darkness doesn't, like, come back when I go to a new floor or something? Where am I keeping Voltorb? Is it just sitting out? Is it following me? I guess it could be. Oh no. Wrap damage plus burn damage could actually be pretty devastating here. Yeah, that's doing a lot. Okay, it let go, but if it kept using Wrap, that could have been bad. Level 28 for Margarine. No new move, but that's fine. Clefairy. I don't want to keep switching into Annabelle, because Annabelle's gaining a lot of experience. Margarine can handle this, but I'm gonna Sleep Powder it. Just to avoid taking more damage than I need to. The burn is already doing too much over time, and I don't have any burn heals, or full heals. Man, if only there were some items I could pick up in the Rock Tunnel. That would be awesome. Got the Confusion with Confusion. Always weirds me out that Confusion, like, has a chance to confuse the opponent, but it's not guaranteed. Despite moves like Confuse Ray basically just... I don't know. Confusion is just named weird, I think. It's supposed to be like the default psychic attack, and it's just weird that it's called Confusion. Maybe Psychic and... No, Psychic and Confusion can't have their names swapped because Psychic doesn't have the chance to confuse. I don't know. It's weird. Confusion is meant to be like the psychic status condition, but... I don't know. It's weird. It's also weird that burns don't hurt your Pokemon, like, outside of battle, while poison does. Junior Trainer Female. Pidgey. Getting real creative today. So her Bellsprout kept using Wrap and almost actually beat Margarine. You play hard. So do you! Jesus! Whew, I'm all sweaty now. I am too, from how close you got to actually beating Margarine. Jesus. I'm running low on super potions. That's just how long this dungeon is. And we are on to our third repel of the area. I came this far for Pokémon. I came this far for, please, dear God, get me out of this cave. I've been here for what feels like all day, even though it's been 30 minutes. Meowth. Margarine is running out of PP for Confusion. We might have enough to get through this battle, but if not, Marjorie's gonna have to sit in the back until we leave the cave. Once Marjorie runs out of PP for confusion, she's essentially just here to catch Pokemon, and when there's no Pokemon to catch, I mean, doesn't really need to be spelled out. Please don't use rap. I know you don't learn rap, but just please don't use it. I'm sick of Marjorie being wrapped and burned, stalled to death. Okay. There we go. Oh, she has more. It's kind of pathetic when Marjorie can't even beat a Pidgey. But that's fine, that's why we have Sandslash. And that's why this Pidgey has Whirlwind, to waste a turn doing nothing. I guess that is a use for, Whirlwind in trainer battles, if you ever need to do nothing, but since Wobbuffet doesn't exist in this generation, I don't know why that would be something you need to do. What does this say? Rock Tunnel, Cerulean City to Lavender Town. Wow, thanks for putting that at the very end. This trainer. We will come back for her. We were going to ignore most of the trainers on this route because our Pokemon are hurt and we're close to the next town. But, yeah. We'll come back to this route in the next episode and see what all these trainers are up to, because we could use the experience in the next episode. Welcome! New Sylph Scope. Make the invisible plain to see. Sylphco. That's not what I was trying to see. Lavender Town. The noble purple town. With the creepy music that every creepypasta loves to use. Yeah. Let's head into the Pokemon Center. I don't want to listen to this too much, or else I might start getting some ideas. Gonna go ahead and heal up real quick. Lavender Town is home to what I, to this day, consider to be one of the scariest songs I've ever heard in a video game. Tied with maybe the old Chateau from Pokemon Diamond and Pearl or Drought from Pokemon Ruby. So, yeah. I don't know if I want to leave you with this on the end screen, but I'm gonna trust you not to do anything irrational. Next time on Pokemon Generation 1, we'll be seeing everything there is to do for us in Lavender Town right off the bat, and maybe seeing what's in the surrounding areas. Because I don't want to listen to this music for too long. See you guys then.